So this is an easy one. The best part of my job is clearly the people that I get to work with on a daily basis. From the people working in our front of house and kitchen area, to the production team, to sales, marketing, our vineyard manager, grounds manager, warehouse, you name it. We've got a lot of people here. They're all awesome to be with on a daily basis. They're funny, they're hardworking, creative, and incredibly clever. So very blessed to work with the team that I get to work with on a daily basis. And obviously that includes working with people like the band Slipknot. So it's very exciting on a day-to-day basis to spend all my time with these people.
So the good news about all the intellectual property that has been saved since 1995, from the first time I ever met Paul Gray or Joey or any of these cats, all that stuff's been archived and is sitting around and has been saved before people invented fancy apps to take your intellectual property. This sort of stuff has been vaulted like it would be at a museum. And the purpose for holding on to all this stuff is to make sure that people like myself or people like Corey Taylor or other guys in the band can show you archival stuff and basically give you a little insight. Not on all of it, but be able to explain it. We have so much of everything from every year, from even before we were signed. I would have to get a team of at least 5 to 10 people to focus on nothing but what we're going to do with all that stuff. So the answer is yes. At all times, we're trying to figure out how we can give you something from right now for later, and also how we can give you something from a long time ago for right now to get you to later.
So my favorite part of the process, and one that I would consider to be the most important or even the most overlooked, is the way that we age our barrels. So here in Iowa, we have the ability to really tap into the fluctuating temperatures that we have here, not only on a seasonal basis, but on a daily basis. Say in July, for instance, the peak of the day, it might hit 100 degrees or 95 degrees, whatever. Well, at night, it might dip all the way down to 50. And so that's going to work a lot of magic inside of those barrels. As everything heats up during that hot part of the day, the wood of the barrel is going to start to expand and become more porous. That whiskey's going to seep into it. And then at night, when it cools down, everything starts to contract again, and it's going to squeeze the whiskey back out. So we get a lot of rapid movement in and out of that barrel wood because we're taking advantage of that temperature, and that's something that's really important to our process. In addition to that, we also we configure our warehouses laterally as opposed to vertically. In other locations, they stack their barrels really, really high, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, but it creates sweet spots within those barrel aging facilities, where at the top of those barrel sheds or those barrel facilities, it's going to be really hot, and at the bottom, it's going to be pretty cold, and that's going to age the whiskey differently. Well, here in Iowa, we have the advantage of having a lot of land, and we can build our buildings out wide instead of tall, and so we only rack our barrels 5 barrels high, so that we don't get those sweet spots. It's not much hotter at the top of the building than it is at the bottom. And once again, it allows every single one of those barrels to tap into those fluctuating temperatures here in Iowa.
For me, I spent a lot of time looking at society, listening to society, putting my ear to the street, staring at the sky, watching people on the phone, watching people at dinner, picking up little bits of information here or there. And when you do that, and you don't do it with a strict hand, and you just kind of massage it, things start connecting themselves to each other. But if you force it, you can't get them to adhere to one another. But if you just open your eyes, pay attention, and understand where you're at, and maybe what you're getting into, which could be an album a year from now. But the direction is always what's going on with the beat of the world. What's happening with everyone. Then it usually filters into me, and somehow it gets to a larger place, and then more people get involved, and then the direction starts showing itself. But you never just wake up and admit to yourself it's going to go one way, because there's so many people involved, and you want everybody involved, and you want everybody's opinion, and you want it to be beautiful for everyone. So direction especially on the stage, even the masks. And even the music, we take this probably the most serious, absolutely the most serious. You never know where the direction is going to go. Right now we're writing, and I'm still trying to connect dots between songs and understand where we're going. It just hasn't quite hit yet. We have a plan, but all the dots have not adhered to each other to point to a direction yet.